Hello and welcome to our market alert video for today, which is February 23rd, 2024. So it's 2324. I hope you're doing well. I am Ken Moraif. I'm the CEO and founder of Retirement Planners of America, and we have a singular goal, which is to create as many SCWPers as we possibly can. And if you don't know what a SCWPer is, it is the acronym for Second Childhood Without Parental Supervision. So any client of ours that retires, we call them a SCWPer, and we want to create as many SCWPers who are out there SCWPering their tails off as possible. So thank you for watching. We have a lot to talk about, but I want to give you an update. Many of you responded very nicely, thank you, when I told you last week about how my dog Noodle, who is a schnoodle. She's a poodle and a schnauzer blend. She's a big dog, 75-pounder, and she actually, my wife, in the middle of the night, for no reason at all, just felt like Noodle needed to go to the emergency room. It was intuition. And Noodle's heart actually stopped at the hospital. They resuscitated her. Had she not been there, she would have died that night. And she was a perfectly healthy dog 2 days before. She just hadn't eaten in 2 days, so that was part of why my wife was concerned. But be that as it may, she's doing well now. And so thank you for your well wishes. And for you dog lovers out there, you know, they become our children, right? Once our kids go off, our pets become our kids. And so we love them, and Noodle is energetic, she's excited, she's happy, she's her normal self again. So thank you for your well wishes. I want to go over what's going on. You know, the artificial intelligence and AI seems to be what's taking over Wall Street right now. It's like all the stocks that are involved in building out AI are doing phenomenally well, and they're pulling the whole market with them. And so I was interviewed this week by the Wall Street Journal and by Reuters. And interestingly, both of the reporters had the same question, which is, are you concerned that the concentration in the Magnificent Seven, as they're calling them now, these 7 companies that are building out AI, these technology companies, they are pulling the whole stock market? So one of the things historically that we want is what's called breadth. We want there to be many companies whose stocks are doing well, not a few that are pulling the whole stock market up with them. And I said, well, you know, that's true. Historically, that has been what we want. But I look back on the last several years and I remember the FANGs. Do you remember the FANGs? Well, if you don't, I'll remind you. The FANGs was Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Those stocks, those 5 companies were driving the entire stock market. They were pulling it up with them. And people were concerned back then, oh my gosh, the stock market is going to crash the moment any of those companies stumble. And we should be worried that only 5 companies are driving everything. Well, in our view, artificial intelligence, AI, is the single most transformative technology that we have ever seen in the history of humankind. We think that it's going to change everything. Whether you like it or not, it's going to do it. And the transformation, the development, the rolling out, the technology, all that kind of stuff is very, very expensive. And there are very few companies that can afford to do that. So these large companies with these massive resources, they've had billions and billions of dollars in cash that they didn't know what to do with. All of a sudden now they're like, oh, we got our AI. Let's spend it on that. Let's build it out. Let's do this. And so smaller companies don't have those resources. Now, they'll be pulled along with these companies. Why? Because as AI is rolled out and as all that happens, they'll supply stuff. They'll be innovative and they'll create things that will help. But the main drivers, we think, are going to be these large companies that are going to drive forward. And we don't think this trend is going to stop anytime soon. It's the wave of the future. Now, having said that, this is reminiscent of Y2K. Now, some of you are old enough to remember Y2K. What happened then? Same exact thing. We had these large technology companies that were driving this thing called the internet. Oh, what is that? Well, it's this thing that's going to be great. We're going to have internet. And what else? Oh, telecom. We're going to be able to communicate with phones and this and that. So when those companies were building that out, the stock market went incredibly high. It just went up and up and up. And guess what? It turned into a bubble. Now, was it correct? Do we have that technology today? Yes, we have cell phones and we have internet, we have all that. So it was a bona fide thing of the future, and it was worthy of being invested in. But people got overly exuberant, and we had the stock market crash of Y2K. So this is kind of reminiscent to me of the beginnings of Y2K, where there was this, no matter what it was, if it had to do with artificial intelligence, throw money at it. Back then, anything that had .com, throw money at it. Pets.com, anybody remember that? So we believe that we should ride this wave. We're in the early stages of it. We don't see a big market crash or a big bubble at this time, but this has the makings of that being what happens. So therefore, we believe you should have a strategy to protect if the downside comes, if you have a big bad bear market that comes. And that's what we do for our clients. Our clients are over 50, they're retired, retiring soon. And so we want to make sure that to the extent we can, that we protect your principal, that you don't take a big loss in the next bear market. Our strategy said to sell in November of 2007, before the big crash of 2008. Our strategy is designed to help do that. If you're over 50, retired, or retiring soon, we think you should be fully invested right now. This wave, we need to ride it for as long as we can. But have a strategy to protect yourself on the downside. If you don't have that, visit with us and learn more about ours. Maybe it'll be a fit. Okay, so for now, we think this is going to be a great year. We think the bond market will respond positively in the second half of this year. As you guys know, we said to buy bonds in December. They're down since then, but we anticipate that when the Fed does start making sounds like they're going to lower interest rates, bonds are going to rally tremendously. And it's hard to time that, so we want to get in early, and that's what we did. So we still anticipate that bonds will have a very good year this year as the Fed lowers interest rates in the second half of this year. So overall, we think all is well, but plan for the worst and hope for the best, not plan for the best and hope the worst doesn't happen. So thank you for watching this video. Share it with your friends. Go to our website. We'd love to talk with you and see if we can help you. So thanks again, and we'll talk soon.